Hi, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat. I'm Karen Scott Green,
And I'm Kat Hardrick.
and we have the pleasure of being here today with Kimberly Reese, who is the founder and director of Lioness Queens Corp. And Kimberly is here with her fabulous board members. Thank you.
Woo!
And so, Lioness Queens Corp. Kimberly, you have to tell us about this fabulous organization. What was your why and what is the purpose of Lioness Queens Corp?
Okay, I would like to start by thanking our Heavenly Father and thanking you, Karen and Kat, for giving us an opportunity to put our organization out there. So let's start there. And my wonderful board members that are there. Lioness Queens Corporation is something that was on me and a few of my board members' heart for a couple of years. But unfortunately, I was in the working world and just did not have the opportunity to commit. What we are about, we are a nonprofit organization made up of multiple women that we understand that there's a need for our youth to dream, to soar, and to exceed their wildest expectation. And we target young girls that are in disadvantaged community because we find that oftentimes they only know what they see, or they need to be driven that they are only what they are. Our goal is for them to understand it does not matter about who you are, where you live, circumstances, your finances, what your mother did, your father did, whatever. We have the potential to soar. And one way we soar is to see the world through a different lens. So our belief is one thing we like to do is to travel, small parts of travel. So I find that when we take them out of their community and take them to other areas, they can see how big the world is and how much impact we have. Because unfortunately, a lot of times we are taught that we only are who and what we are today. And if we're not able to dream, then we're not able to see how big the world is and how much it has to offer. So that's where it started for us. It just started to make a change wherever we can make a change, small footprints. And that is I think, one of the gifts that we've been given as an organization, because I've been blessed enough that I've seen a little bit of the world. And most of us are military, and that because of the military, I'm able to understand. I can reach back and bring them little girls on my shoulder who think all we know is, forgive me, the 48 hours in Birmingham, Alabama. It's so much more world than that. So that's kind of how we created and started our idea.
So, Kimberly,
No, girl, look, this is reality.
can you tell us a little bit about your background of how you got started doing this?
My background, as I'm blessed with, I have 4 adult children and I have multiple grandchildren. And in this day and time, I have a couple of grandchildren that my sons are involved with, but they kind of live a different life. And I realized once I was there that so many of their friends, as I picked them up to travel with them and, take them on cruises and take them other places, so many of their friends have not experienced that. All they know is what they see. And unfortunately, not all of them are seeing positive impacts. So that touched my heart there, because I know that they are our future. Not only are my grandchildren my future, but the kids next door and the guy down the street and the person that's in the media, they are my future. So if I don't help to implement some change for their future, then where shall I be? Because it's not guaranteed that family is going to be the one to be there. So I want to preach. And I want to impact all those people or individuals that we can impact. And maybe it's a little biased belief. I believe the women are our strength. We are power. And with power, we must share our power. And we must pass it on to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. So that's kind of where.
Girl, we need to put that in a t-shirt.
I love that.
Put that on the screen, Karen. What you say, sis? What you say, Miss Kim?
About power. I mean, women have always been the root and the power. We have always kept the family together. During the hardest time when the men went out to work, women are power. We always have been and we always will be. So what we must make our young ladies understand, they are still power no matter what society says to you. No matter what kind of paint they put on you, you are power. I don't, and I do a little foster home, and I find a lot of young girls that come through here. There's, for a lack of a better word, the soul is being eaten up young because they are being told you are whatever it is your mother was, or whatever it is your
Mm.
father was, or whatever the case may be. Our job is to empower them, to let them know it does not matter what you come from. As long as you got breath, even with mistakes, you can be power. And we represent power, and that is what the Lioness Queens represent. We represent power. We represent strength. We are a sisterhood. That as a sisterhood, we have to pass it back to one another. It's no good in me having power and strength if I don't share it and teach it. That is our beliefs as the Lioness Queens Corporation. One of our
I,
many beliefs.
I
So
absolutely love that.
look, she would hit it all hard today. I try to wear a little makeup and be cute. Karen called me a waterhead. Look, and you hit it, girl, because it's to my heart. It is to my heart to be able to not be what society has said you should be because of the mistakes and the choices that you made.
Right.
You are greater than that. So I love that you bringing tears to my eyes because that's so powerful, and our young ladies need to hear that. Our young boys do too, but I
Exactly.
get it. We got to start somewhere. So I love it. I want to ask this question: how did you build this fabulous team of women to be examples and help these young ladies see themselves in these wonderful women? How did you guys go about that process?
Well, most of these, or all of them, I have known almost all my life.
Mm.
Pamela and I met in the military almost 30 years ago. We both have done our military time. We both have retired. Uh, these are actually my family members. Tina Louise is my sister, so she get a little extra because she is my sister. Stephanie Ashley is actually my niece. She is an active duty officer in the military. And the
Cool.
other young lady that's not up here now, she is where we spent 30 years in the military. And I have we're a combination of another active duty member. She's my stepdaughter as well, and just family and friends. We just got together and just do regular conversation. It's just such a need, and we all had like mindedness. We all are like mindedness on how to impact and what we can do to power. So it's more of that, and of course prayers and God put us together. That is our belief that we can and will make a change. We
Mhm.
can and we will make a change.
So, besides traveling with the young ladies, what are some other activities that you and the board members do with them?
We are doing workshops because, as you can see, we are seasoned women. So I kind of like some of the seasoned things we used to do: appropriately dress, how to speak, how to
Mm.
how to do we go to the HBCUs, we push in the HBCUs just to expose them to it, how important school is, how important it is to stay focused and stay in school. Our history, our
Mm.
history is being lost. So
Hmm.
that's why I enjoy doing the African American museums, and we got a museum called the National Musical Museum in Tennessee. How we have influence on every part of this world that was taken from us many years ago, that our youth don't even realize. Hip hop comes from what? It comes from religion. It comes from the very beginning when we was in the field singing, and they don't know, or I believe they don't understand the connection of how it is. So we are here to influence on anywhere, but cultural and history and education is our priority. The track
Okay.
is a quick snippet that they get to enjoy, because we have so much history out there, and the United States itself, if we go through every state and we actually resource our culture and our history, we'll be like, wow, oh my goodness, people have a tendency to forget about the South, but this is where it started.
Mhm.
So let's not forget.
Mm.
Absolutely.
And they live here, and I can. Most of them don't even think about the 16th Street Baptist Church. It's just something they gloss over. So we're
Mm.
to put that thought process and give them that dialogue so we can come to the table. So what's going in the world today, and it's imminent what's going in the world today, if we sleep on it, it's a possibility. Times ahead go back quickly. So that's
So,
kind of
Miss
what we are.
When you take the young ladies on trips, how do you get funding for that? Where does that come from? And say some of the places specifically that you've taken the young ladies.
We did the African American Museum this summer.
In DC?
In Washington, D.C.
All
And it
right.
was, except for one of the girls, it was their very first time going to the African American Museum. And I don't know if you've been or not, but I love when you start from the
I have.
bottom floor, from slavery, and you get the
Yes.
education till they got the timid, um, I lost my train of thought. Room that's what happens when you get old, but it's okay. And we took them to Howard University. And one of the great things about Howard University is with one young lady, that is where she seek to go. And she's
Okay.
15, and that she had never been there, had never been to Howard University. And if you could see how she was enlightened by the guided tour that the young lady gave her. And then the
Mhm.
young girl, I wish I could think her name, she was just awesome. She was a freshman too. And they were able to exchange phone numbers. And it was more of a
Okay.
reality for her
Mhm.
than before then. It was, I don't think it was a dream, but not a reality. And she understood the reality because she was telling her what you have to do to be accepted, what you have to do.
Mhm.
All our funded last year, and this we are newly, like I said, we're a newly designed organization, came strictly through hard work and fundraising. We was fish frying,
All right now.
selling dinner, old school, and
Yes.
tickets. And we had I had one young lady, Desiree Hodges, and her husband. Thank God. But for them, we may not even be able to get together. They donated us 3 rooms at the National Harbor. That's where we stayed at the VIP, so that the girls could see
Yay.
The
the air.
VIP. Go ahead, girl.
It was outrageous. So thank God it came through. Don't, but
Amen.
don't hard work. My feet were swollen. All our feet were swollen, and it was hot, but it was well worth it just to have a couple of, of course, like any organization. I told all the girls, this may not be your fit. I pray it is your fit, but you have to
Mhm.
find your fit. But the ones that it fit, their overwhelmness and gratitude, it just pierced my heart. You know,
Mm. So, how
so
many young ladies are you working with currently?
we have 15 young
Oh,
girls
wow.
that,
That's a
and,
good.
and, and it was a wide age range. It ranged from
Mhm.
10 through 19. And we
Wow.
selected the 10-year-olds, because I just felt when they're very young, we can still really shape them.
Hmm.
The
Right.
teenagers, they require a little bit more work, but they
Mhm.
understood a little bit more. So it's a wide range. Our hope was that all 15 would want to stay, but as I'm, realistic, it's not for everyone. So of course we
Right.
got 3 girls that, although they say they enjoyed the experience, they elected not to, come back
Return.
next year. But we're
Mhm.
finishing off this year with them for many reasons, because young girls are young girls. They are, and as I told them, they may not be ready today, but maybe they be ready again, and they can come back and apply. So it just, that's it is.
So
And
is it a fee for the young ladies to participate in, or is it just all donation driven?
it's no fee. It's all donations. The We're asking for 2 requirements, and that is community service, because I just believe until you give back to the community, you don't understand what the community is about. So, and
Okay.
the community service is of choice. It can be at your church. It could be at a
Mhm.
food bank. This year we plan to do a little better. I have to bounce around a little bit because we actually have 2 chapters, one in Alabama, one in
Mhm.
Georgia. This individual girl from Georgia. So we're gonna come in, and if it's an hour a month, just whatever you can. But I just believe that we have to do some type of community service. There is no
Mhm.
fee, and when we fundraise, that not every fundraiser, but they have to be a part of it in some way,
Okay.
in
Okay.
some form, in some fashion. That is, at this point, the only requirements that we have.
Are there any requirements of the parents? Like, do the parents have to do any fundraising? Do the parents have to participate, show up?
I didn't make that clear. When we do the fundraiser, we want the parents to fundraise
Okay.
as well. Or if the
Amen.
requirement, or if we're selling raffle tickets, we ask that their family sell 10 raffle tickets. Anything that's reasonable. It is not
Hmm.
an out, but we want them to understand this is not a free trip. It's
Right.
costly to someone. So we
Mhm.
benefit by everyone participating.
That's right.
because if there's no participation, if there's no requirement, then it just they kind of, in our opinion, miss some of what we're trying to get out. We want to educate them, but with everything we do, we have to have a requirement. I have a requirement.
Everybody need to have some skin in the game,
I was
Yeah.
and
just
I
thinking
think
that.
that you got to have some skin in the game, or you're not going to really find any value in it. Miss Tina, what keeps you around? Oh, I just was asking her a
What
question.
you
Oh, there
doing?
she
Oh,
go.
there she go.
I don't know. Look, Miss Tina, what you do? You said bump that. I don't want to answer her question. So while she get it together, what either one of you ladies can chime in. What do you love most about participating with the program that keeps you here? Why are you dedicated to this organization, to this nonprofit? Any one of you ladies? How you go, Miss Pam? You can
I
go
think it
first.
because it helped the kids, it give the kids um, it froze. Hello.
We're here.
Yep, we're here. We hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I just think it give the kids an outlet for the ones that's like more disadvantaged than the others are. It give them an outlet to do something different in life because I know for me growing up, I would have never experienced what people are experiencing that we know that we're dealing with right now. So it gives them an outlet to see something totally different in life that they may not never see. So it's like
Mhm.
it's like a good thing just to have the kids, excited about going to do something different.
Yes.
I love that. What's the time commitment for the board members?
We're on 1 year, and then we go back because we have 3 board members that are active duty soldiers. So they
Okay.
may move around and they may not be able to connect. Stephanie actually, and I'm so grateful, did a lot of work. She was in Korea the whole time once we was giving
Mm.
this, once we was doing this, and she was doing a lot of snippets from us from that far. God forbid if they have to deploy or something like that. And they are young mothers and family members. So and my zest to want this to move on, I don't want to overwhelm them. So they always have a way out. But preference is they leave out crying and not leave out running.
Okay. I know that's right. What branch of service are you in, Miss Stephanie?
Army, ma'am.
Poor. Me too, poor. All right. Thank you for all y'all service, ladies. We women veterans. We run the show. I know that's right.
So do the girls have to reapply each year, or how does that work?
Yes, ma'am. They have to. And what we mean by reapply, and we're still in the process of finalizing this. At a
Okay.
minimum, I want them to write what they benefit from it
Okay.
and how would they benefit in the future. And because we had a couple of girls that came who, how teenagers are. We know how teenagers. We came because my mom made me come. I don't want
Right.
you to come because your mom made you come. I mean, and I'm one of them type of moms now. You can do some things I say do, but I want you to be there because you want to be there. And what,
Understandable.
and what can you benefit, or how can you benefit? So there will be some requirement, but it's not an automatic comeback. That is the goal, because I just don't think we can have impact off of one visit, off of one
Mhm.
tenure. So the goal is to take them. That's why another reason we elected to start young with many, but we couldn't do all of them at 10, because I'm just going to be honest, it's a handful that they'll grow over the period of time,
Okay.
and
Mhm.
they'll be able to understand what the impact we're really trying to make. And I just think we need more than a couple of them coming in a few times to make an impact. But yeah, they have to. Why do you want to? What does it mean to you, or how are you affected by this? And our prayer is that they have some type of positive effect by or through it.
Absolutely. How can people get in contact with you and donate and or volunteer?
Okay, awesome. Well, they can reach out to our website, which is www.lioness dash queens.com. That's our website. We have an email address as well, and that is Lioness Queens, LIONESSQUEENS, Corp, CRRP at gmail.com. And on our website, you can donate. We have a donate button, PayPal, or if you want to use your card. And we have a Facebook as well that is set up with a QR code and a donation to it. And the Facebook is Lioness Queens Corporation that is on our Facebook. And we welcome any questions, comments, anything they could do to aid to help, not only donation, because I know oftentimes people cannot donate, but we welcome the information because we are a newly corporate nonprofit, and we're just trying to grow and learn and the best that we can.
Let me ask you this. Thank you for saying that part. Are you open to growing your board members with I know you said everybody's family and their background, but are you open to increasing your board members so that you can have that leadership with that experience? Because if you are new, maybe you can get some board members that have that reach so you can start networking with how to build the nonprofit.
We are definitely open with that. The reason why we are made up now is just because it was what was within my group, what
That's
I
right.
knew. We definitely would like to extend an olive branch to anyone that is interested and that have the same goals that we have. It would be a blessing on our part to receive anyone that would be interested. Definitely.
Absolutely, because I can see you benefiting from a fundraiser, someone on your board that can help you, write grants
Right.
and then an attorney. Karen is a practicing attorney. Not that I'm volunteering her, honey, because
You can volunteer her. Don't even worry about it, girl. Thank you, Karen.
But I'm just saying those might be some areas so that
Right.
because I find when we've been doing a lot of interviews and talking to businesses, for profit or nonprofit, and we hate to see people go under, but when you talk to the leadership, it's all about starting off that foundation correctly. So making sure that we have the right pillars in place so we can build and be sustainable. So that's just something I was just thinking of.
Thank you. I mean, it is true because, I can tell you from my perspective, it's new to us. We all know where our heart is, but your heart don't take you where your business mind should put you. And, it's just a reality. So we're trying to figure it out as we go along the way. So we're trying.
Miss Kim, you good for some quotes. Your heart don't take you where what you say, girl? Look. You need to get you some t-shirts. That's why you gonna raise some money. Good
Lord. So awesome.
That's cute. Miss Tina, you got anything you want to say? We got to get you in here too. Look, Miss Kimberly doing all the talking. What you got to say, Miss Tina?
No, I'm just happy to be with you guys. I'm just happy to sharing this awesome podcast. I mean, it's more than we even thought that we'd be able to do when we started this out. So, so thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing us to have you on here. This is what we're all about. Community.
Absolutely. This is the reason why we created this platform, because we have met and we meet some incredible people who have great stories to tell. And we want folks in the community to be aware of the work that others are doing, because often we run into people who say, oh, I didn't realize that there's a group that's taking kids to colleges. I didn't realize there was a group who's helping kids apply for colleges. I didn't really, and we're running into people all the time. And we're just, something that we just said the other week is that we are we're matching the needs with the resources. That's how we see ourselves, matching the needs with the resources.
Amen. So with you ladies and the vision that you have, this is just a great opportunity for us as well. So we want it to be fun and authentic and organic. So I'm hoping that you ladies are having a great time and getting your message out. Nothing scripted, as you all can attest. Nobody sent y'all questions or any of that. We just want you to tell your truth, your story, so that it can uplift and empower other people. Because when we tell a piece of ourselves, we're giving other people the liberty, right? The power to tell their own story. So that's what Karen and Kat is all about. I do want to say one thing, Karen. How do y'all take care? Because, we always talk about mental health. We kind of get away from that a little bit because we love our conversation. how do you guys stay mentally grounded when you're in these situations, talking to these young people? Because I know some of their situations may not be the best. So how do you guys, how do you ladies manage your health and well-being? Because that's the number one priority for us, to make sure we break the stigma about mental illness and mental wellness. So we want to talk about it.
And to make sure that you're pouring from your saucer and not from your cup that might be a little empty.
I like
So we
that.
have to
I'll be using that. Let me write it down so I don't forget. From your salsa and not from your cup. Okay.
That's right.
I was giving somebody else an opportunity to answer, because I do all the talking, ladies.
To anyone, jump right on in. Anybody? Miss Pam?
I'm sorry.
Pam,
I'm thinking,
Go ahead, Pam.
how do my mental health?
I couldn't hear the question, really. I kept going out.
okay. So Pam, how do you take care of your mental health?
For me, it's like I'm an empty nester, so I'm home by myself most times. So I really have no stresses in life. I go to my church a lot, talk to people at church. And then too, I'm in the military, so I do have a psychologist I talk to when I need to talk to.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's good that you have that resource. Miss Tina, can you hear us now?
Yes, I heard the question. What I do, I'm a very spiritual person.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do a lot of reading, I meditate, I research to try to find my inner self, right?
Mm.
And I want to always be connected with my truth. So that's my way of doing that. I pray, and I feel like that keeps me grounded.
Yes. Very good.
Because prayer changes things. Miss Stephanie, how do you
Yeah.
stay on top of your mental health?
Well, I'm used to. I was a drill sergeant at one point.
Oh
so,
Lord.
Yeah, I was at Fort Benning.
Left, right,
So
left.
they told us how to deal with mental health or whatever. But I cook a lot, and my family can tell you that I cook.
Oh,
So that's my thing, to cook. So I cook and I'm good to go. So
so is feeding people your love language?
Yes.
it is, and it brings people together. So
Yeah.
no one can argue with food. They're gonna eat. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
So I cook a lot.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good.
And Miss Kimberly, last and certainly not least, how do you
Well,
manage your mental wellness?
I am like Pamela. I actually do have a therapist. God knows I need it, so that's a great out. But far and foremost is my savior, and that is far and foremost than anything. But I do have a regular therapist, because the military made me get that one. I'm just telling you. And but matter of fact, one of the young ladies that's on our board, she's actually a therapist. We kind of when we talk to her, but she is a licensed therapist. So, and this conversation like this, although you and your co-host wouldn't be there, we just get together and we chat and we tell one another how we feel, and we just have open conversation.
Yes.
I'm very transparent. Unfortunately, they say what's in me come out of me. I try to work on it in my old age, but I think I'm just too far gone. So, but it works for me.
I love it. I absolutely.
Ladies, that is perfect. And I'm glad that y'all admitted that you have, or you shared with us that you have a therapist, because that's something important. I have a whole team of therapists, like you said. So I actually said we should start shouting out our therapists, because I think that'll help break down the negative stigma that's associated with having a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or whatever the case may be, So I love it. Thank you, ladies, so very much for that information. And give a shout out one last time for y'all website.
www.lioness-queens. Oops, where my paper at? My mind is terrible.
You saw straight ahead. Look.
www.lioness-queens.com, and the email address is Lioness Queens Corp, CORP @gmail.com. And you can also follow Lioness Queens on Facebook at Lioness Queens. So it's Lioness Queens all around to get into contact with these fabulous women. And
donate.
Yes,
and donate. And so your next cohort of young women starts when, Miss Reese?
We will be receiving applications in January, and they'll come on board in the spring, because then we'll start our next fundraiser for what we're going to do for that summer big event for our workshops and our first major trip.
So
Awesome.
families can start looking at the website in January for those applications to be
Yes,
uploaded.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Of course, they could feel free to peruse it now, so they can see if this is what they're looking for, and if they have any questions, feel free to send an email.
And so you said that they're required to do community service. Do they have to have community service hours in before they can apply, or is that just part of the program?
No, ma'am. We just want them to understand what we are about, and that's going to be a part of it. So if they know they have no interest, hopefully they do, of doing any community service, then it probably is not a fit for them.
Okay.
And the workshops that we are interested in, and that would be on the website, so they can know if it's going to be a fit for them or not.
That's perfect.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. Oh, what's going to be the trip for next year, or do the girls get to decide that?
No, we cannot have 15 girls making those decisions. That's not going to happen. What we decided is that we did the urban, the DC, and the New York. Also, they went to New York. The teenagers went to New York, Statue of Liberty, and that. So we're going to do something a little bit more down earth. So we're looking at the Tennessee area, because
nice.
There is so much musical history. And we have this university there. It is just so
and
much.
Tennessee State. Don't forget Tennessee State.
A lot of people don't know they have 4 HBCUs there in Nashville. So the goal is to hit those, and for them to do something a little bit more outdoorsy. So we're looking at rustic lodges, if we can fundraise and get enough money, and so we can have that experience. So the workshops that we're going to do is going to be to that type of atmosphere. So we want to give them different nuggets, something a little different, I mean, I know we have Dolly Parton, Elvis Presley over there in Nashville, but we also got B.B. King and hundreds of them. We have Muscle Shoals where the music started. And I understand the influence, because we actually influenced them. That's
absolutely. There's video of a woman that was doing that shake that Elvis used to do with the hips, that twisting. He got that from a Black woman.
Exactly.
Hello.
And our young folks don't understand that. They don't know that. They don't know that, but they're gonna know.
Yes.
Even the Statue of Liberty. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
That is the goal.
This was a great conversation. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. I'm so excited for everything that you have upcoming, and just whatever God has in store for you. I'm so excited for your entire team and for the young women who'll be coming on in the spring.
Absolutely.
Yes. As always, thank you for joining us on this episode of Conversations with Karen and Kat.
Well, we are impacting the world one conversation at a time. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.